out there in the Star Wars fandom. This is John Hoey of the Resistance Broadcast coming to you live from the base with Lacey Gillerin, because this is TRB Live. It's the Resistance Broadcast. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. We are very excited for the show today, Lacey. Do you know why we're excited for the show today, Lacey?
Why?
Because you and I have come up with our plan for our coverage of Maul Shadow Lord, but we're not revealing it yet. That's why.
That's such a you're being a tease.
I know.
No, we're excited. I'm excited for the show. We're going to get into it.
Yeah, we're going to be covering the Maul show. We'll get into more details on that later, but it's safe to say that both of us, who are not known as the bigger of animation fans in the podcasting space, both of us, for some reason, are very, very, very super uber duper hyped on Maul Shadow Lord right now.
I would say I've always been a big Maul fan, though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like I've always liked Maul. But
yeah, Maul's cool.
Yeah.
But we want to thank everybody who's joining us live. Thank you very much for being in the chat. We hope everyone's doing well out there. If you have a Star Wars question that we can discuss on the show, you'd like us to chat about, just pop it in the live chat. Use hashtag AskTheResistance, and we will get to those later in the show. We also have a really fun round of One with the Force later. Some tough choices to make, as always, with that segment. And, of course, the news, which is going to be heavily loaded with Maul and Maul Shadow Lord specifically.
It is.
A lot of cool bits from that Sam Witwer interview to dig into, to prep us for where we're headed and where this character is at this point in time, just after the Clone Wars. But make sure you subscribe to the show. TRB Podcast on social media, Resistance Broadcast on your favorite podcast app, and of course, youtube.com/@TRB Podcasts on YouTube. And for more, if you like things beyond Star Wars like we do, Nerdy and Nice on Mondays on its own podcast feed and here on the TRB YouTube channel. Also, Patreon. We're not doing Will of the Force today, Lacey, so can you tell the folks about Patreon?
I can. So John hinted a little bit how many ways there are to support us. You can like this video, comment, subscribe, follow us on social media, buy some merch at trbpodcast.com. But if you want to be a part of our community and help support the show in a way that like allows us to travel to places, update our equipment, do giveaways, stuff like that, you can head over to patreon.com/trbpodcast. Starting at just $5 a month, it lets you be a part of the community and interact with us in mini episodes. You get to decide, topics and questions that might end up on the show, and much, much more. And as you go up in the tiers, you get more access, more cool stuff, monthly chats, Discord access, and yeah, it's a great place to be. Some of the coolest people I've ever met in the Star Wars fandom are there, and they've just been truly amazing, regardless if we're talking about Star Wars enough or at all. It's just really cool people that enjoy each other's company, and we talk about all different types of things, and they've just been very supportive of what we're doing here, what our plans are, what our dreams are, and why we keep doing this. So there's that.
Well put. Lacey, some good news for Bo-Katan fans before we get into our main news stories. Katie Sackhoff wanted to squash any speculation or rumors about the future of her character, and she said she's going nowhere. And the main reason being is because she said, I'm Dave's creation, and I'm based on his wife. So Bo-Katan is going nowhere. So anyone who's a big fan of Bo-Katan, worry not, she will return. And I wonder what that means, though, Lacey. Do you think she's going to get inputted into the Ahsoka stuff? Do you think there is going to be more Mandalorian? What do you think? Where are we going to see Bo-Katan next?
I would like to think we're going to see her in the movie, at least at some moment. Maybe like a cameo or bring her up. I think she's being a little sneaky about it. But it's weird to have a whole season that she's involved in and then have the movie and she's not there, I guess, is what So I feel like she's going to be at least mentioned or make a cameo appearance. That being said, I'm sure Favreau and Filoni told her, like, don't worry, you're going to come up in XYZ.
Yeah.
So that's why she's able to confidently say that. I do like how she played with the whole, like, well, I'm based on his wife, so he's never going to get rid of me. So
right.
She did go on to say some interesting stuff, though, at that Comic-Con about how, and I think we've heard this before, about how, she had played Bo-Katan for so long, voice-wise, that then when she saw herself in the mirror in the costume, she was like, "Oh, so, like, who am I now? Because I was Bo-Katan before, but now I'm Katie. Like, I'm
Yeah.
this person that's like, how do I move? How do I act?" And I thought that was a very interesting way that, people don't really consider for actors, is like they have to find their whole persona, and which we talk about with Mando is like one of the reasons he works so well, Din Djarin, is because his stunt guys are so great, whether they're face actors or not. Like their
Yeah.
whole walk, swag. We just talked about that last night with the guys from Rebel ScumCon. So
Yeah. But shout out to
yeah,
those guys. We'll be there in Texas. Rebel ScumCon 3 is August 7th to the 9th.
yeah,
We will be there. So I think their VIP tickets are gone, but regular tickets, I believe, are still available. So if you're out there in the TRB community or you're just catching this, grab a ticket and head down to Texas. It's going to be a good time. And the Virtual Cantina Network's doing the Bunta Eve party again. So that was amazing in Japan.
very
So excited
excited.
about that. But you're right, Lacey, about Bo-Katan, because what was it last summer when she did that podcast where she said like she lost her confidence in acting
Oh
after
my
doing it and
gosh.
stuff?
Yes. I
Yeah.
was like, what do you mean?
But
Wait,
now I guess she's
what?
got it back. She's like, I'm not going anywhere. Bo-Katan is coming back, so we'll see when.
Good for her.
But we have some really cool stories to get into, and one with the Force and your questions. So we got to get after it here with the Resistance Report.
It's the Resistance.
We all wanted to make this the best thing we've ever done. That is Sam
Mhm.
Witwer talking about Maul Shadow Lord, which debuts on Disney Plus on April 6th, I believe, on Monday, with the first 2 episodes. Lacey, a lot of new stuff coming out. Obviously, this show's right around the corner. Collider gave us a new look at Maul from Shadow Lord, and then we also have the Star Wars Insider interview with
We
Sam
do.
Witwer, which really takes us deep into not only the creative reins they were allowed to have on this, but the change and the evolution of the character, how heavily Sam has been involved, and how passionate they are. It's a great interview. Check out Star Wars Insider, but we're going to talk about it. Lacey, where do we start? Do we start with the image out of the gate?
I think so. The exclusive image from Collider. Yeah.
Yeah, so Collider got the exclusive new look at Maul. He's got his hood on. He's got his lightsaber ignited. He's looking at it in a sort of, I don't know if he's like in a pensive way, but there's clear menace in his face.
I was
Just
going
a
to say
great shot.
menacing. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely a phantom menace, if you will.
yeah. But man, the animation is just so good. Look at just the flare off of the blade.
I love
It's
that.
really
Yeah.
come such a long way. This show looks incredible. And then you had that other image, which maybe I don't know if you want to save it for later, of the Star Destroyer, but
Yeah. Well, this is the Star Wars Insider cover.
yeah, which is great. Anything with Maul on it looks good. If you're doing a
He's so
poster,
cool. He's
if
so
you're doing a
cool.
Star Wars poster and you get a chance and they give you Maul, you have a cheat code. Like you're in good shape.
I know. I mean, he was the whole kind of promo for Phantom Menace with the opening of the doors. Like that was in
Yeah.
every fast food commercial with the dun, 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 like everywhere. And every time we talk about Maul, I can't help but think about that listener that wrote in about Maul. And it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard on this podcast, where they said that they went to the opening night and this guy was all dressed up and he was flipping around and like doing lightsaber tricks and stuff. And then at the end of the movie, he said he walked by him and there he was in the front row just looking so sad because Maul had died. I want to know where
Well,
that guy is now.
oh, I know. He's probably having the best time of his life right now.
Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. So
Yeah.
good.
All right, so let's get into this news here on Maul Shadow Lord. What are your takeaways from the interview? What are your thoughts on what Sam Witwer had to say? Any of it?
So I'm going to admit, I have notes next to me because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything that I had thought about this article,
Oh yeah.
because I'm going to start off with saying that this article, I was already excited for this show. I love Maul to begin with, so I was already interested. Sam's involved, etc. This article, congrats, Star Wars Insider. I am more hyped than I've ever been, and that's even with the trailer and the art we've seen. Like, this interview with Sam pushed me over the top. Like, I'm so ready to watch this. I'm so excited to watch it. I'm so thankful that they made it. Anytime we have a show, series, book, comic, anything in Star Wars where the creators, producers, writers, people that are involved are saying that, we pushed every day to make this the best thing we ever wanted to make.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best. I don't think that they're being hyperbolic. I don't think that they're saying things that they're lying to you and hyping you up for no reason. And I believe Sam Witwer when he says, like, this is one of the best things we've ever done.
Yeah.
And especially him talking about Dave Filoni saying, I want everything to be better. I want the story to be better. I want the animation to be better. I want everything to be better in this series. It needs to be the best, because I'm sure Dave knows the love and excitement that is around Darth Maul to begin with, that he's like, we can't flop on a Maul show. We can't.
Yeah.
I know you said that for Kenobi, but
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. For me, this is Dave Filoni, I think, holds Maul pretty high on his list of things, especially with all the moments he shared with Ahsoka. And we jokingly say Dave's always like, how about Ahsoka?
And he got to kill Maul. So, yeah.
That's true. So one of the things I found very interesting is that he talks about how when we meet Maul in this series, he's very confused and angry about the state of the galaxy and how things went, and how he was surprised at how bad things have gotten. Like, it's an interesting thought trajectory and character arc when you think about how, when we met Maul, he was Palpatine's apprentice and he was helping things along and trying to work towards the mission of making Palpatine the Emperor. And here we are years later. Palpatine's now won. He's taken over. This is after the Clone Wars. And Darth Maul is kind of like that meme where they're like, do this. And they're like, and they go do it. And they're like, no, not like that. Like, it seems like it's like that meme with Maul where he's like, no, I didn't want this.
All right. Yeah.
Because he talks about how he has this like emotional state of reckoning of like, what have I done? What did I play a part of? And like, did I make the right choice? When he talks about how Maul is like, maybe we do need Jedi.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sorry, what? maybe I made a mistake here. I just found that so interesting. And the idea that he's kind of building up his own team. So we're probably going to see underworld stuff like Crimson Dawn, syndicates. Like, what does that mean? Which I believe we understand that some of these parts of the show are from George Lucas's show, right? The Underworld show. Some of those themes.
Yeah, I mean, I think they probably borrowed, if not just the environment aesthetic of it, like especially a lot of the city stuff felt very like Blade Runner-y type of thing.
Yeah. And just Sam Art also mentions how Maul isn't, and most people think this. I would assume most general Star Wars fans or people that know of Star Wars know Maul is the guy with the double red set lightsaber that flips and jumps and does all these crazy things. And Sam spends a good time of this article and interview saying how that's not all that Maul is. Maul is a deeper character than that. He has more going on than that. And so he talks about how he's a manipulator, a persuader, a strategist, and you'll get to see that in this series of that he doesn't just swing around a lightsaber. He's got to make bigger steps than that in his journey, and then also in the galaxy. I think the thing that I saw online a lot that people were kind of really hyped about the series was that Sam was recorded for this series. Like, we talk a lot about how the voice actors have some impact on the animations, and oftentimes they will videotape people for reference, but Dave Filoni had the team actually take full acting shots of Sam Witwer to include it into the performance of Darth Maul, which I thought was so cool. And I know everybody online has been super hyped about that. And then the one kind of big line that stuck out to me is this show is about bad guys versus worse guys. So it makes you kind of be like, okay, so Maul isn't going to be a good guy. Maul isn't going to be redeemed in that sense. He's still a bad guy, but he's not the worst guy.
Yeah, he's
And
like
I just
Tony
thought that,
Soprano.
yeah, I just thought that was such a funny way of putting it. It's like it's bad guys versus worse guys.
Right.
But I'm
Yeah.
interested to see what else, because I'm so hyped. Like I could go on and on about just like
Yeah.
how excited I am for this show. And I can't wait to review it with you every week and really talk about what we know of this character, where this character is going. And you know this from, why are you laughing?
I was just thinking about the name that we came up with that we're not going to go with. And that's made me laugh.
You know what? You might as well just say it, because if you say it and put it out there, nobody can use it, and then you won't feel bad about it. We'll talk about that at the end. How about at the end? We'll say
Okay.
the ones we aren't using.
Okay. Yeah.
You're so dumb. And I'll also explain why it's not that name, which I
Right.
said this morning, actually, when we spoke on the phone. But I don't think and this is me just being honest, like I haven't been as excited for an animated series, and I don't count Visions in this because it doesn't fall within the canon timeline. I haven't been this hyped for an animated series ever.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think we're both on the same page on that. And
Yeah.
can you pull up that city image with the Star Destroyer?
Sure, yeah, of course. So I pulled this from the article.
Yeah, that looks incredible.
That's something I would put over my dining room table. For
That's
audio
amazing.
listeners, it's like a sunset, beautiful, like watercolor acrylic painting of a Star Destroyer over a cityscape. It's stunning.
Yeah, there's titanium white up there, some phthalo blue. And it looks like the Star Destroyer on Jeddah, but it's hovering over a city instead. It's almost feels like Independence Day too, in a weird way.
I know it does, but like the skyline in the background is just so pretty.
Way better than Independence Day. The movie stinks.
I like Independence Day. We've talked about that before. I really
Yeah,
do like that movie.
No, but that is a great shot, and I like so many aspects of this interview. You definitely hit on a bunch of them, but Maul's sort of, the title of the episode of our podcast episode today, like he took the red pill, like he wants to see the truth, and his existentialism is so on display here, and
Yeah.
it's retroactive, but also looking forward. Like, how much time does he have left? What can he achieve now with these new ambitions? How can I be a behind the scenes Shadow Lord, but have his instinctual, like, predatory nature of being the one who's the aggressor? He's sort of like that boss who says, never mind, I'm just going to do it myself kind of thing.
Oh yeah, the delegating. That's right. That was a good point in this. Is like
that's
he
going to be
doesn't
fun to
know
see
how
him
to
struggle
delegate.
with that. Yeah, he's going to have a really hard time trusting people. That's going to be interesting. But his existentialism, with like you brought up about, he dedicated everything to Palpatine, and like he was all in. I'm your apprentice. I'm your number two. And then to see after everything that has happened, he lost his legs, he lost his brother because of Sidious. All these things, he's looking back now, and it has to be so difficult for people to invest so much time into thinking what you devote yourself to is right, to find out it all being wrong. It's that weird feeling of like, did I waste my life? And like we're seeing that in a Star Wars animated series about Darth Maul, the guy from Phantom Menace. We have a full-on existential crisis going on. It's so this show is narratively going to be so cool. So that part of it is really cool. I also like the Rook cast element of it. And it says, although he doesn't trust Easy, I believe this is a quote from Sam Witwer from the article. Although he doesn't trust Easy, Maul relies on the... What does it say? Oh, Rook cast is his first lieutenant. This is Sam Witwer. And their relationship is interesting because Maul actually listens to her. He's learned that people have valuable points of view and that unlike Palpatine, he needs to hear bad news sometimes. So he's figuring out what it really means to be a Shadow Lord. And Rook cast I had to like look this up to remember what happened. But Rookcast believes because Maul killed Pre Vizsla, like chopped his head off,
Right.
that Rookcast sees Maul as the true leader of Mandalore, and that's why Rookcast still follows him by the book of Mandalore, is like because he
Interesting.
defeated Pre Vizsla in the one-on-one battle. So that's
Well, we
interesting.
know how Din handles rules.
Yeah,
He's a very
yeah,
by the
true.
book.
And then your point about him saying like, maybe the Jedi were not so bad, and it shows that he is a bad guy, but he's one of those classic villains who fights with honor. And we saw that
Yeah.
when how he met his fate, obviously at the end of his life. But him saying like the Empire doesn't stand for anything. At least Jedi like tell you who they are, and they like you may disagree with them and hate them to your core, but at least you know where they stand. Whereas the Empire doesn't stand for anything.
Right.
So I everything about this show, it's going to be so layered. It's going to be so gray in terms of the good versus who's good, who's bad, who's worse. Like they said, the bad guys versus the really bad guys. And the animation looks incredible. I know the music's going to be awesome with the Kiner team. So,
Oh, they kill it every time.
and Sam Witwer saying, not just we're going to make this the best we can make it. We all wanted to make this the best thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
So that means better than Clone Wars, better than Rebels, better than anything that they've worked on. They're putting a lot of hype behind it, but I believe it, and I am very, very excited for Maul Shadow Lord.
Like I said, I couldn't be more excited, and I never would have imagined me, Lacey Gillerin, would be excited after reading an article, but here I am. New year,
Yeah.
new me, I guess.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
read this article and I was like, okay, Sam. All right, Sam. Whatever you want, Sam.
Just
I'm
a
in.
great interview by Star Wars Insider. And it's sad. Star Wars Insider, I believe, is ending with their last issue this May.
That's what I read. I was going to ask. So it's their final. That's so sad.
Did you see?
How do
did
we
you see who
save it?
I don't know if this is public news or not, but he posted it online. But our buddy Mark Newbold has a really great final interview that he's doing for it. He posted it online, so I assume we could talk about it.
So
but-
happy for Mark.
Yeah, he's interviewing Kathleen Kennedy, so it's very cool.
Good for him.
Mark Newbold's the best, so I'm
Killing
very happy
it.
for
He's
him.
the
I'm
nicest guy.
I'm sad about Star Wars Insider, but
Yeah.
happy for Mark to be able to close it out. All right, we have another story before we get into One with the Force, Lacey. This one is Disney's reported feelings. So I'm guessing the executives, the puller of strings,
Oh, Disney.
their feelings about the two upcoming Star Wars movies, The Mandalorian and Grogu and Starfighter. Feelings reportedly from inside Disney are that they are a little worried about how the Super Bowl ad performed. Which we've that discourse exhausted itself. I think we all understand how we all feel about that Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
But also they really seem, Lacey, to be extra hyped on a movie that comes out next year, more so than The Mandalorian and Grogu. The word is that they are super hyped on Starfighter because it captures the classic spirit of Star Wars, and that Ryan Gosling is great. Now, none of this comes to a surprise to me, but what are your thoughts on this article and the leakings out of Disney in terms of how they feel about the next two theatrical efforts by Star Wars?
Before we get into that, I do want to comment on some comments in the live chat. So first of all, TVC_Trev says, I need Skeleton Crew season 2 rumor to be true. Us too. We say that all the time. Skeleton Crew. Let's do it. I want it.
Oh my God.
Let's
please.
make it happen.
Yes.
It was in the production weekly thing, and we were like,
weekly.
Ah!
Yeah.
So totally. And then Nikki says, Lacey, you still sound so congested. So Nikki, would you believe it that I felt good for 2 days and then I got sick again? John knows this has been the worst 2 to 3 months of my life. I've never been this sick before, but we're rolling with it. And
We're rolling.
I am just happy I'm not coughing. So I'll take the congestion over coughing. But I do want to address that because audio people are probably like, you sound horrific. And I'm so sorry. That being said, let's talk about Disney. So speaking of horrific, Just kidding. No, this, first of all, the article is very interesting from Variety because they have this header image that they had like someone draw, or who knows if they did AI or something. They tend to be all over the place, but it's the Haunted Mansion heads, and they have every president as a head, and then Chapek is like beheaded. Did you notice that? I was like, that's so savage that they're like, no,
Oh,
Chapek's broken. He's the
oh yeah.
broken head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so wild. So here, there's
And
a
there's
lot
two
of
Bob Igers.
there's two. Yeah, they did the two. It's so brutal. And in the article too, which I'll get to in a second, they do say in Bob's first time as CEO, he did these things. They don't mention what he did the second time, which I thought was a little bit of a jab. They might not have meant it that way, but it came across that way. So, first of all, I think reading this article that we keep going back to this thing with Disney is that they're very much in like a prove it phase. They had this like, and they talk about with Bob, his first time as CEO, he went around and bought everything up. He was like, I'm going to buy Pixar. I'm going to buy Marvel. I'm going to buy Lucasfilm.
Must be nice.
Because he was all about like, let's stockpile IP. That's where it is, which now we're seeing this come out with Paramount and Warner Brothers, which just happened right before this show.
Yeah.
People are going around buying up IPs because they need stuff to put on their streaming services, and they want to put everything under one umbrella so that everything that hits the box office is theirs, which, by the way, is its own separate monopoly issue. But Bob did go around and do this. And then he went and bought 20th Century Fox for like $73.1 billion. So the kind of underline, if you were to put it on a piece of paper of like equals long division, Disney is $45 billion in debt. They're carrying that debt from all these acquisitions, all these purchases. So when you look at it in that kind of view, the underlying issue here is they have to make money on things. They have to stop taking risks, which Kathleen Kennedy in her recent interview said, they got to take risks. They have to stop taking risks, and they have to deliver on things that make money. And this article kind of breaks down what insiders are feeling, which is they don't think The Mandalorian and Grogu is the safe bet, whereas Starfighter is. Starfighter is led by a guy that made them a bunch of money with Deadpool and Wolverine. It has Ryan Gosling, and everybody likes Ryan Gosling. Like, let's be honest. And Project Hail Mary, by the way, which they're saying is the best film of the year already.
Yeah.
It's just so clear that Disney's got a lot of work to do, and they have to pick up the pieces of, hey, these were the choices that you made years ago to set yourself up for success. Now you have to deliver on that success. And going 6 years without a Star Wars movie is not delivering. You have people going, what are you doing? So Bob Iger came back and he did that whole spiel of, hey, we're going to focus on our IPs, the ones that make money. And then all of a sudden The Mandalorian is getting a movie, and you have to have that jump from TV to movie. And I just don't know if it's going to work. I'm hoping it's going to work, but we'll see. What are your thoughts, John?
I've been feeling like this for a while, and this has nothing to do with Favreau at all, because I love Jon Favreau, and I've been a fan of his for 3 decades, and I hope the movie is amazing, and I think it's going to be really good, and I'm rooting for it all the way. But from the Disney perspective side of it, it feels like they're sort of treating this like Solo. I'm sorry. It feels like it's that meme of the guy looking at the other girl while his girlfriend looks on like, what the hell, man? And it's Disney looking at Starfighter, and Mando's like, hello? I'm come out in 2 months. Like, can you love me just as much as you love Ryan Gosling?
Unreal.
So that's how it sort of feels a little bit to me. I don't know if it's because of the marketing. Now, the trailer was great, and we talked about it last week, and they finally hit the nail on the head with the trailer. I don't want to, beat a dead horse with the discourse over the Super Bowl ad. I really don't care about that. It misfire. Almost everyone seems to think it was that. Whatever. But it just seems like unless they really hype it up the next 2 months, like I haven't seen Pedro Pascal anywhere. I haven't seen him promoting this or talking about this. Just before I came down to record, I scrolled on social media real quick. They did an entire Jeopardy sketch with Ryan Gosling for Project Hail Mary, and it was incredible. And it's like Disney knows that Ryan Gosling is going to be marketing gold for Starfighter. I think they're super confident in that. I just want to know, how come we're not seeing anything for the Mandalorian and Grogu that way? And I'm tired of hearing like, well, the marketing window now, and what they do is, and it's like, well, like I just said, you got Project Hail Mary coming out. Lacey just told you it's going to be the best movie of the year. They're doing all sorts of crazy things with Ryan Gosling. He's him throwing in a CG football through the donut hole, him doing this whole Jeopardy skit. Like they know people are going to go see this movie because it's good, but they're still getting creative with how they're promoting it. And I'm not seeing that with Star Wars or The Mandalorian and Grogu. And we talked about it a long time ago, Lacey. The classic stuff and nostalgia doesn't bring people back anymore. You need to have that, but also say, this is relevant now. This is relevant right now. This is good right now. Because like Gen Z kids, they don't care about our nostalgia. They don't care about that. They want stuff that is cool right now. And I think we learned that, and I know I've said this a lot, but like the promotion for Dial of Destiny with like the sad Harrison Ford in a shadow with the hat brim down and the single piano note stuff. It's like, that's not going to get people excited to see Indiana Jones. You need to make it relevant for today to get people interested in today and to get it in front of their eyeballs today with so much information and so many platforms. No one's sitting in front of the TV anymore, stations 3 through 30, flipping the dial, waiting for a commercial. They have to get more creative, and I haven't seen that yet. The closest they've gotten to being creative was the Super Bowl ad, and I think that was misplaced. So I think
it was creative for the wrong audience.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping that we see a modern effort of marketing and promotion, and that sort of, even guerrilla style. Like, let's just throw this together. Like, I'm sure that Ryan Gosling throwing the football thing didn't take as much effort as a $7 million Tauntaun Super Bowl ad. So they, get smarter with the budgets on the marketing and get creative. And I hope Star Wars takes that path. But it does seem like they're way more confident and excited and hyped on Starfighter. And Mandalorian and Grogu feels a little bit like it's sort of like we were told we needed to get a movie out, and we are doing Mandalorian and Grogu because the 3 movies we announced in London are not moving anywhere yet.
Yeah, it kind of just seems all over the place. And in the article, it's funny. They say Josh tomorrow is called the riskier guy. And the examples they gave is that he invested in Fortnite, which we saw how Fortnite worked for The Rise of Skywalker, where they played Palpatine's transmission and nobody watched it. And then they talk about it in the movie. Everyone's like, what are they talking about? So we saw how that worked. And then they're talking about how they're making a park in Dubai. And it's like, that screams rich people. That doesn't scream family from Nebraska that's going to fly to Dubai to go to a Disney park.
Right.
So I keep seeing these choices that the new guy has made, and I don't call them risky. I call them out of touch. Like, nobody's on Fortnite that's going to then translate to a movie.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But I agree with you. Yeah.
I just hope, like, to be clear, we are rooting for the movie. And
100%. We will be there for the first showing with our popcorns, with our Mando shirts on, awesome. Grogu ears. Yeah.
I just, you like to see your favorite thing get the treatment that other people's favorite things get under a similar umbrella. Or
I say it again, I see more hype coming from Japan.
Yeah.
All the time.
But that's it for news. We do have a nice round of One with the Force to get into, so let's do it.
All right, let's do that once I find right now.
The Force is with me, and I'm one with the Force.
All right, John, you want to do this one?
I can do that, yeah. So One with the Force, it's a segment we love on this show. We've been doing it a little more frequently lately because it's a lot of fun. And essentially what we do is we pitch a situation out there where ultimately, you can only make one choice. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's
So
silly,
tricky.
sometimes it's difficult.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately always a good time. And if you're new to the podcast, after you hear the first one, you'll get it. So let's get after it right now, and we'll kick it off with Lacey. I'm going to start off, pitch this one to you.
Okay.
You can magically see one of the following versions of a Star Wars movie. Which are you watching? Lord and Miller's Solo or George Lucas's Episode 7?
So this is a tough one because I feel like if I don't choose George Lucas, everyone's going to claim I'm not a Star Wars fan. Like if I don't choose the guy's movie, but part of me is really interested in Lord and Miller Solo because like we were just talking about, Project Hail Mary is being called like the best film of all time.
Ridiculous, yeah.
So it's like one of those things that I'm like, but then I also at the same time, nerdy and nice, I was talking about how I watched Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs from Lord and Miller and it was horrendous. So I'm going to go with George Lucas's Episode 7. This doesn't mean that Force Awakens is a race, does it?
No, you just get to see what George would have done in another timeline. Yeah.
I'm going to do George Lucas then.
That's cool. I like that. I'm just thinking about it. You were talking about Project Hail Mary again.
I can't wait. I'm so hyped for that movie.
No, me too. But I imagine Kathleen Kennedy. She's like finally like packing up her office and like winding down at Lucasfilm. She's like, finally, I can breathe and start doing things on my own to get back to producing. And then she like sees an article like Lord and Miller's Project Hail Mary being heralded as the best movie ever. And she's like,
they are. No, like the line is like best movie of the year will win awards, like awards season.
I know, but Kathleen Kennedy fired them.
I know.
Solo made
So
$392 million, even though it's rips and it's awesome. It's just she has to be like, oh god, every time those guys keep like doing well, she's like, oh god. But Lacey, I'm also going with George Lucas's Episode 7, because what I would do is I would get an old handheld camera and bootleg it, and then like spread it around so people can see it.
No, you would not.
Just so. Here's why. Here's why. Only if it's bad. So like everyone has this idea that if George never sold it, it would have been the greatest trilogy ever. You don't
think
know
he would
that.
have made more movies. I think he would have just sat on it.
Yeah, but if he did make his 7, 8, and 9, which would have brought back Maul as the main villain and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We've seen older filmmakers like when George sold it, he was, I don't know how old Lucas was. He was like 68. Like if he started making those movies in his 70s, we don't know that they would have been all that great. Maybe he would have had other directors, and who knew who would have helped writing those things. There's no guarantee. So it's always that rose-colored glass or whatever about like, if George never sold it, we would have gotten his trilogy. And it's like, do you remember how much people hated the prequels when they came out at first? Like,
I really don't.
Problems.
But I trust you, and I've seen videos.
Yeah, it was.
About
I mean, even in the newspaper reviews were brutal on the Phantom Menace before the movie came out. We talked to Rob Coleman about that. They were devastated.
We did, yeah.
But like, so I guess what I'm saying is, if George Lucas put them out and they weren't that good, then people would be like, all right, well, maybe I'm being a little harsh on the actual sequel trilogy, and then that would maybe heal some wounds, is what I'm saying. So,
yeah.
And I love Solo as it is. I don't think I would have the heart to see Lord Miller Solo, because in the chance it was better, then I'm like, well, if they had made it then Kathleen Kennedy made a horrible decision, and they would have made Solo too. So I have to go with George Lucas's for my sanity, and also with the chance that it's bad, so that people cannot be so hard on The Force Awakens and the sequel trilogy. Because people are starting to turn on The Force Awakens, and I'm like, how hipster do you need to be?
That is true. Yeah. I don't understand what that is, but people are turning on it.
Like, you all loved it. Let's stop pretending you don't like it now just because it's a hipster thing to do. Anyway.
I'm always on the non-cool side of things.
Yeah, me too. All right. I like all the bad series finales. You know the deal. But make Solo 2 happen. That's right. Lobo, Sam Hain. All right. Next one, Lacey. Choose one canon Star Wars animation scene that you would love to see done in live action.
Darth Maul and Ahsoka in Clone Wars season 7, the big fight scene.
Oh, yeah.
I think Ariana Greenblatt would kill it
I like that pick. That is a good pick.
because she was so good in Ahsoka. That's like, I just want to see more lightsaber fights. I don't think we've gotten enough of them. I'm also the person that complains about droids and creatures, but I'm also going to complain about lightsabers. Like, I don't think we have enough lightsabers in live action Star Wars
Yeah, true. Or romance.
or romance. You know what? Am I a Star Wars fan? That's what everybody's asking because all I do is complain.
No. I'm with you on Maul. So my pick is also Maul, but it would be Maul versus Kenobi. Maul's death.
I knew you were going to pick that.
Oh my God. I love that scene. I still think it's too short, even after Sam Witwer's explanation, which is incredible. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure everyone here has seen that. Watch his video of how they went through Obi-Wan's using of the past, using Qui-Gon's stance, using his stance, and knowing how to take down Maul and the sort of like Greek tragedy as he dies in his arms sort of thing. But if you got live action Maul, probably wouldn't be Ray Park right now. But,
No, it would
if you get
not.
live action Maul, get Sam Witwer in there. I don't know. But with Ewan McGregor and get that on a budget a little higher than the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, that scene would rip in live action. But yeah.
I love how you use the term rip a lot now.
Oh, sorry.
You're like, let it rip. It rips.
Let it rip. All right. We have one more in One with the Force, and then we'll get to some Ask the Resistance questions. Lacey, name the one deceased Star Wars actor not named Carrie Fisher that you would love to have interviewed on the podcast.
I mean, Carrie Fisher is my answer, but
No.
I know what your answer is going to be.
No, you don't.
Ray Stevenson?
No. Good. That's a
Oh, it's
great
not?
pick, though. That's a great pick. Wow. I didn't even think of him. Oh, I'm sad again now.
You have now been booted from the Ray Stevenson fan club, and now I'm president because I would choose Ray Stevenson.
No, because I'm so upset about it that when I thought of dead Star Wars actors, like he didn't come to my brain. I'm still like not okay with it.
That is such a workaround.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. I would choose
all.
Ray Stevenson.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
He was just so charismatic and fun and would give such good insight on what we're dealing with now with Star Wars, like what people do now in the production and how the process is.
I like that pick. It's a good pick.
Are you so mad that you didn't pick it?
No. I'm a little like, I am a little like bits aside. I'm like, how did I not think of Ray?
Did you pick Mayhew?
How'd you know that?
Because it's either that or that.
I did pick Peter Mayhew.
Good choice.
I was leaning between Alec Guinness and Peter Mayhew, but I'm like, Alec Guinness, like, he didn't dislike Star Wars the way people pretend he didn't. But I don't think he would reflect enough on stuff the way that Peter Mayhew would. And the fact that Peter Mayhew was there fully for the entire original trilogy, but also a part of the prequel trilogy and the sequel trilogy, because he did the cockpit scenes flying to the island in The Force Awakens. He would have a lot of insight, and he seemed like a very friendly man. I love his bits and all of his interviews. His voice is just so jolly and sweet, and I never got a chance to meet him. So I would have just loved to just chat with that guy, like in a Shire, like with pipes, and just like get into it with Peter Mayhew. Oh, that'd be so awesome. That's my pick.
Yeah. I saw him in 2016, and he was at the bar after Star Wars Celebration, and I felt so bad because people kept going up to him, and you could tell like he needed a moment, you know?
Yeah.
So I felt
Was he
bad for him.
walking still then?
No, he was sitting on a couch. His knees were like
Yeah, right.
he's so tall.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have my regret. My regret is definitely Carrie Fisher. I had an opportunity to talk to her, and I was like, I don't want to bother her, and the biggest regret of my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love how people in the chat are like, Lacey, stop being psychic.
Why?
Blah blah.
I don't.
I know John and I've been doing this for so long that we've heard the same stories over and over and over again. We've seen how each other have responded to certain type of content and media, and just as friends, like John's my best friend. So like I know John in such a way that like I know how he's going to answer things.
I don't talk about Peter Mayhew like.
But you like Han and Chewbacca.
Yeah.
So anytime you're like, well, I would pick Chewie. So obviously you'd pick the person in the suit of Chewie.
Who the hell is Chewbacca?
I was watching that clip the other day. Still laugh. Yeah, I still laugh.
Someone in the TRB Discord named him. I think it was Heather. I forget what his name was though.
Named the guy?
Yeah.
Someone says, "Oh, John's your best." Well, it kind of by default. This guy has to listen to me nonstop.
Also, I'm the man of the people. I'm everyone's best friend.
Okay. Best friend denied. Stayed revoked.
Anytime a celebration when people meet me in person, they're like, I knew you were a great guy. I didn't know how great of a guy you were. And that's what happens usually when they meet me.
I just take back every nice thing I just said. Everything has been revoked.
Oh my god. That is sweet though. Couple of buddies podcasting for almost a decade.
Couple of buddies matching shirts.
LG, we got some questions from the live chat. So why don't we get into... Oh, we also have a super chat. But why don't we get into Ask the Resistance and get to the super chat in there?
I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
All right, you good to take this one, or am I doing the whole gamut today?
Well, you could read them. I've been coughing off mute. Like right now.
All right, here we go. We have, Ask the Resistance. You can send questions to us. You can email them to us. You could send them on Patreon. You could send them on social media. It doesn't have to be in the live chat. Well, we're always down to take questions. Just use the hashtag and tag us, and we'll get you on the show. So thanks to everybody who sends these in. We've been doing this for a long time, and here we go with the next round. And this one is Freezy2324 with a super chat. Thank you, Freezy. And they said, TRB. Since we see the Shadow Council in the Mando trailer, does that mean Thrawn could be involved since he's back? Excited to see Grogu on Dagobah. Oh, jeez.
I think he has to be. I think they're tying everything together, right?
You think? Yeah, but is Freezy asking, is Thrawn going to be in the movie?
In Mando? They could mention it. I mean, the culmination movie / series is coming. That's what they said that the Filoni movie is.
But
so if they're trying to bring the Mandoverse together and Ahsoka falls under the Mandoverse, therefore, math again, long division, Thrawn is in the Mandoverse.
I feel like even though there's been overlap, obviously with Ahsoka being in the Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian, it hasn't really been reciprocated. I mean, Mando showed up in Book of Boba Fett, but he was so far away from Ahsoka.
Yeah.
We had speculated. I think you had thought, you're like, Mando's showing up. He's showing up in Ahsoka, and we all sort of thought that might happen.
I thought he was too.
Yeah.
But
that's what I was saying.
Carson David did though.
Yeah, you had thought so. Yeah. But I feel like Mandalorian is kept a little distant from the rest of that's going on. So I don't think Thrawn's going to be in The Mandalorian in Grogu. But everything's clearly connected. And we're probably going to learn more in Ahsoka Season 2. So because Mandalorian and Grogu comes out first, I don't think they would put anything that hinges upon the story of Ahsoka into a movie for someone else that then relays back to Disney Plus for another series. I don't think they're there yet with that. So that's why I don't think Thrawn's popping in here. It'd be cool. Absolutely. Lars Mikkelsen, sure. But I don't think so.
All right.
Thank you, though, Freezy. Appreciate it. All right. What do we got next, Lacey? You fire them up. I'll read them.
Okay. Terry asks, when will the Northeast stop feeling like Hoth?
Oh, man. We're getting more snow this weekend. Sunday or Monday.
I'm dying.
It's brutal. Oh, my God. I feel like Rocky IV out there. Horrible.
This is for you, John, because you were asking about it earlier.
So Frank Grande 5176 said, FYI, the name that was given to the who the hell is Chewbacca guy was Mordo Sloshbeard, and I added the third, so Mordo Sloshbeard the third at your service. Mordo Sloshbeard is in TRB canon. That works. I believe that was Heather, but thank you, Frank. Thank you, TRB Base, for naming one of our stupid characters that we do here on the podcast. And I'll probably have to ask you again what that name is, but Mordo
Sloshbeard.
Yeah, I like Sloshbeard. That feels like like he knows Therm's scissor punch or something.
Oh, Therm scissor! What a waste of a character, Therm scissor punch.
Oh my god! I mean, Solo is just incredible. But Tough Luck Ye Sixer asked, "Do you think the Variety article on Josh D'Amaro saying, quote, Disney felt a mistake was made on the Mando and Grogu big game spot was written before the much better trailer came out with Hope?" Lacey, what do you think about this?
What's being asked?
So
was this said before the trailer came out?
Yeah, so was this article that we talked about with them talking about, we just went over, Disney talking about the Starfighter, Mando and Grogu, and the Super Bowl ad. Do you think that article was written before the trailer that everyone liked just came out? And does that matter?
I think this interview was done a little bit ago, and I think that it was done after the spot came out, and I think the trailer was released because the spot was not taken well.
Like sooner, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be. I think we said that. I agree. And I don't think it matters. Like, I think if the trailer hadn't come out yet, or if the trailer did come out and it wasn't that good, like, they would still have their comments about the Super Bowl spot. Like other things don't change how they assess a $7 million investment in a Super Bowl ad. That needs to be
should have
evaluated.
said trailer coming tomorrow at the end, and it would have been a completely different scenario for everybody involved.
Yeah. Or honestly, just show 30 seconds from that trailer. Like I saw you tweet, like, I can't wait to see 2 hours of this, and it's Mando just shooting guys in
just shooting guys, turn around shooting them. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Base level, I completely agree. So, yeah.
That's what I'm going to this movie wanting, by the way. As a diehard Star Wars fan, I just want 2 hours of him beating dudes up.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Killing space
and
Nazis.
Grogu being cute, a couple puppets, and Mando punching people in the face. That's what I want.
A little cosmic stuff, some good music and themes and stuff, but for sure, just a swashbuckling, good old time adventure.
A lot of button pressing.
Western
I love a good
motif.
Star Wars Switch button pressing montage. Love it.
Have to hit a button. There has to be at least one single lever or one big button that does total catastrophe, as is tradition in Star Wars. All right. Thank you, Tough Luck. And we have one more question. Maybe two more, because I saw one just pop up. But we have Justin Huber, 96. What is up, Justin? How you doing, man? Justin said, how do you think the series finale for Maul Shadow Lord will end? Thanks. That's tough, because my hope is that it's multiple seasons and even leads up into Solo, where he's,
I'd love that.
For Kira back to Dathomir as part of Crimson Dawn. So I would like to say, I think it ends with him at the head of the table for Crimson Dawn. But I don't know. I don't know how many seasons it's going to go. I hope it goes 4 or 5 seasons. I hope it's just as long as Rebels, if not longer. Lacey, what do you think?
I think it's going to be someone walking up to him being like, sir, there's been a disturbance on First Light or something. And he's going to be like, looks like I need to make a call.
Oh, so you think it's going to go like TFA Last Jedi, just like sandwiched right up into
why not?
There? Yeah, all right.
Then there's
cool.
no room for changing anything. If this is the best thing they've ever done, you don't want to leave it open for them to write a book or do whatever. You want to leave it. That's
you don't
want
to give them opportunities to write a book.
Look, if there's one thing we learned from Andor, they are very unhappy with the way characters were written about comics and stuff. They were like, that's not your character to use, guy.
Yeah. All right. But thank you, Justin. And Justin, what do you think? How do you think it's going to end, buddy? We have one more question. We have at 50 Thunderer 26. Will we ever get Omega in live action? If so, who do you think should play the part? Um, I'm
People
not the
love
person.
Omega.
I'm not the
People
person to answer
love
this.
Omega.
So 50 Thunder 26. If you've been listening to our podcast for a long time, thank you. If you're newer to the podcast, I've been cloned out for a while. So I've been hoping they steer away from more clone related stuff. So I'm hoping we maybe don't see Omega in live action. So I'm not the right person to ask. I hope they do for you. It sounds like you're looking for that. But I don't know who would be a good Omega, and would it be an adult Omega? So then you could really open up the casting possibilities. Like, is Millie Bobby Brown going to play Omega?
Oh, stop.
No?
You're so ridiculous.
No?
This is a great question just because I feel like a lot of people from Book of Boba Fett to every single live action series we've gotten within the Mandoverse sphere, people have been asking for Omega and being like, is she going to show up? Where has she been? Clearly she's tied to Boba Fett. Like, what does this mean? I think she'll eventually show up somewhere. I don't think we're going to see her anytime soon. I still think they're doing a lot of stuff with the Bad Batch that we're unaware of, books and whatnot. I could see her being played by McKenna Grace because McKenna Grace is getting every part right now. So
oh yeah, she's in a new Scream movie. Yeah.
She's being Daphne and Scooby-Doo. So
Oh yeah, she's checking all the IPs. The other
she's
thing
in
about
Hunger
Omega,
Games,
she's in Hunger Games too. Wow.
the new one. Yeah.
The other thing about Omega, which is tricky, is if Omega makes the jump to live action, it's not going to be as a main character because with live action they have to assume getting a wider net of people to watch that. So you would assume if Omega makes a jump to live action, it would be as a smaller supporting role that diehard fans can really embrace and love, and casual fans aren't so impacted by not having watched Bad Batch or something like that.
Well, that's
So
why I
like,
say McKenna Grace too. Like, people love her. So like
Yeah.
it would be a great actress to play a character that people don't know that well, that they're like, oh, let me see more of that. I mean, I was watching, my daughter just got into Paw Patrol, like, kill me. And McKenna Grace plays the Sky Puppy in the second movie. And I was like, this
her
girl is
agent
everywhere.
is doing work.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, booked and busy. Crazy,
Also,
crazy.
hello to at the Mandarian. First time
Hello.
on joining a TRB live. Thank you very much for being here.
Frank. Sorry, I'm clacking, as John says. I have a cough drop in my mouth. I'm clacking away over here.
Yeah, you are clacking around over there.
Sorry.
Wait, why is
sorry.
Frank saying you're clairvoyant now?
I'm just so smart.
I thought
And wise.
clairvoyant meant like psychic.
That too. But like I'm saying, because I'm making such good statements on this podcast, that clearly.
You're like, Frank Grande doesn't have favorites on this podcast. Get the hell out.
Sup, Frank?
All right. Well, that does take us towards
No.
the end of the show.
No. You now have to give everybody what they've been waiting for, which is, this is a new segment I call Names That Didn't Pan Out, which is names that John came up with that Lacey said no to for our little after show.
Oh, really? Because all right, if you want to have your day now, then I'll have my day when we reveal the real
What's my
name.
day?
That you weren't vibing the real
Names
name.
that didn't work out. You are making that up. So, side note, everyone, this is what
Side
happened.
note. Oh,
John
here's what happened.
texts me about
So-
something, and he'll be like, "What do you think of this?" And I'm like, Yeah,
False.
sounds great. Let's
Already
move
false.
forward."
False.
And he's just like, "You didn't like this. You
False.
don't like it."
You want the truth? If they want the truth is, it's like
What's the
mid-morning, and Lacey's like, "Hey, did you have a name for our Maul show yet?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that." I'm like, "All right, give me some time to think," and then some low-hanging fruit stuff was bopped around, and like blah blah blah, and then I found it.
Out. We're bopping.
Then I found it, and I knew it was it, and I saw the whole thing in my head, so I sent it to her, and Lacey writes back, and you know when you get this text, you're like, "Oh, HMMM."
I think there were like 4 M's.
So when someone gives you a that's them saying, I don't like it, but I don't want to tell you that I don't like it.
That's not true.
And then when she saw the vision, so you need to have a vision. When she saw my creative vision, then she realized that's it. And everyone's going to, I really think, and then you did say you think everyone's going to like it. So we'll see.
I did say
we,
that.
We did have ones that didn't make the cut. You threw a few
names
out.
that didn't pan out. Go ahead.
You do yours first.
Dathomir dudes.
So for so many reasons, that's horrible.
Oh wait, the Shadow Lord show.
Was that one of the ones?
That was the first one I ever threw out. I was like, why don't we
How
do
about
this
one? Terry Mac.
Oh, Maul Patrol, get out of here.
You would
Terry.
be so mad because of Paw Patrol.
I would just make Maul a puppy. It would be Maul Patrol. Brian's
Our
watching
show-
right now. Brian, do it.
I'm just gonna tell them what it is, and we're naming our,
Adventure Bay. Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol.
the name of our mall show is gonna be called Paul Blart Mall Cop, but MAUL.
I hate you so much.
That'll be it. That'll be the show, and people have
And
to,
he's
they have to
standing.
tune
He's
in
the
and
mall.
watch.
He's the mall cop, but he's on one of those like battle droid segways.
Yes, or the scimitar, the thing he rides around in on Tatooine, his little like scooter.
No, it's got to
And
be the
that-
standing one because that's
Oh,
Maul
yeah.
Blart uses a Segway.
And then out of the handlebars, each lightsaber comes out like boom, boom, like that.
Of a Shadow Lord, get out of here.
And now we need Kevin James with his toupee that he has, and with the Maul tattoos all over his face and the mustache.
Mall Patrol, Mall Patrol, Mall Rats,
Maul rat's good. No, but then the one I came up with was
which is going to be someone's title. Someone's going to call their show this. Go ahead.
Balls to the Mall.
No, that wasn't the one.
Oh, that was.
Oh my God. No.
Oh, I thought that was it.
There it is. Terry got it. Mall or nothing
Oh yeah, yeah.
is what John came up with. And I said, that seems like one that people would come up with.
So I came up with that, and then I realized that's like it was low hanging fruit, and I'm like, I don't. The only reason why we did the pun for K2S show is because it just sort of like sounded really fun.
It flowed. Like Galactic Goonies had nothing to do with anything. It was just like a cool, fun name.
It was referential, yeah.
Yeah.
But our I think we got it.
Go
I'm really
ahead. Say
excited
it
to
again.
reveal.
What was the one that you said?
What?
You just said it. Say it again. What was the one that I was
Ball-
like, absolutely not?
Balls to the Mall.
And I said anything that would have me weekly saying balls just seems really inappropriate for so
All right.
many reasons.
Right.
Just balls all the time. Go ahead, clip that for your social media posts.
That plays. All right. That
I want
now
it,
that-
mall. People are coming up with some pretty fun ones.
Keep 'em
Someone's gonna name their show Mall or Nothing, or like, I'm Mall about it. Like
coming. Right.
anything with all in it, someone's gonna throw Mall in there. May I steal
Balls to the mall, though.
You can have it. Enjoy.
You can have balls to the mall. That's fine. Just give us a
Enjoy.
shout out and say from the depraved mind of John Hoey comes.
Not me.
Balls to
Don't
the
give me
mall.
that. No balls over here.
Well, that's a reference to the phrase balls to the wall, and that's how Darth Maul fights.
You know what's funny though? I actually do use that phrase from time to time.
Yeah, it's a good phrase.
From the windows to the mall.
Right.
Swept
That's a
drop
good
down
one.
my mall.
Right.
Make all these crawl.
How about Maul That? Remember All That, the Nickelodeon show?
Everyone's shut the podcast off at this point. I'm so
we're done.
sorry.
All right.
Audio people.
Let's get out of here. Thank you to everybody for listening or watching and being a part of TRB. We appreciate it very much. Subscribe to the show, Apple, Spotify, any podcast app, SoundCloud, a big one, and YouTube, youtube.com/@TRB podcast. Lacey already told you about Patreon. If you can, please do patreon.com/TRB podcast. Tier start at $5. It goes a long way to help us and will also be helping us get to Texas this August for Rebel Scum Con, which we're really excited about. Big shout out to the Generals and Spice Runners on Patreon, holding it down for us as they always do. Thank you so much to Carmelo, Jetta Rosewater, Frank Grande, Chris Morales, Mike Ramori. I gotta change Chris back to Christian. Brendan McLaughlin, Sneaky Zebra, Colin Cormier, Stephen Garrow, and Darth Snips. And the Spice Runners, David Probus, Neil Shaw, Kendall Gellner, Andrew Staley, Jeremy Myers, the Fort Worthian, and Brian Smith. And however you support TRB, thank you all so much. And don't forget, trbpodcast.com. Get the shirt. Look at that.
Incredible.
Check out our merch, trbpodcast.com. Lacey, where can people hit you up to talk about all the fun we had tonight?
I have such fun graphics. You got to give me a second to put them up.
Oh,
TRB merch, still up there. People requested Solo 2. Make Solo 2 happen. Also up there.
Yes.
But yeah, the best thing you could do for us is share this on social media because the algorithms suck. So share it, like it, let people know about us. Yeah, it would be great. People can find me on social media at Lacey Gillerin, dying of whatever this is.
Yeah, you got to get over this. Seriously.
I'm suffering,
I'm
but not
suffering.
as much suffering as I would be if the name of our show was Balls to the Mall.
Right. True.
Imagine that every week. Hey guys, it's another episode.
Tom doesn't know this. So Jonas, we've met Jonas in Anaheim, and we took a photo of him with our Make Solo 2 Happen shirts. But a couple years before that, Star Wars Explained was with him at Dragon Con, and they gave him a shirt on our behalf. We sent it to them to give to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they gave him our shirt, and he's a big fan. And we did a spot with Jonas on our podcast too, Tom.
He was here. He was on our show.
He was on our show, yeah. But yeah, we're always down to give Jonas a shirt. So we will probably bring another shirt for him. And a
sweatshirt and a hat.
Yeah.
And a care package. And just be like, please love us. And he'll be like, what?
Yeah. And now we have one more super chat that came in at 0 hour. Is 0 hour the last or first? Anyway, there it is. It's Kyle Weaver. What up, buddy? He said, does TRB detour to Buffalo on the way to Texas?
Whoop, whoop.
That sounds about right.
You should come to Texas, Cal.
Kyle, but you should go. That'd be amazing if you went. So please think about it. All right. For me, Johnny Hoey on Blue Sky is the main spot. Let's chat it up over there. And just like the movies, my movie podcast with my buddy Mike. And then, of course, Nerdy and Nice with Lacey. We'll be back with you on Monday. Not looking too good for Scream 7 from a quality standpoint, but it's going to make a lot of money, and we're going to talk about it. But that's it for us here on the Resistance broadcast. We hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time right here on TRB. See you around, kids.